Let's start with a question that sounds like it's from the future, but it's really about right now. What actually happens when writing code isn't really a human job anymore?
Okay, so you might think this is some far-off prediction, right? Well, according to the head of Anthropic's Claude Code, the answer is a hard no. For him and a lot of others at the cutting edge, coding is pretty much already a solved problem. So let's just dive right into this new reality through the eyes of Boris Cherny, the guy leading Claude Code. For him, this isn't theory. This is his everyday.
Okay, get ready for this number because it is wild. 100%. That's how much of Boris Cherny's own code has been written by AI since last November. He hasn't manually edited a single line. It's all done by AI agents. And it's not just him. The effect on the whole team is, well, it's huge. A 200% productivity boost for every engineer at Anthropic since they rolled out Claude Code internally. You know, these are the kinds of gains that companies spend years and hire hundreds of people to achieve. And it happened practically overnight. And this number, 30, really paints a picture of the new speed. Some engineers are now shipping up to 30 pull requests. Think of those as finished pieces of work every single day. Just a couple of years ago, that kind of output would have been literally unbelievable.
So let's be super clear about what this means. This isn't a conversation about a future where AI might write our code. For the engineers who are pushing the boundaries, that future is already here. It's their present.
So, how on earth did we get here so quickly? You'd probably guess there was some massive secret multi-year plan. But nope. This whole revolution was basically an accident. It started as just a little side project, a hack.
I mean, just look at this timeline. It's insane. It starts as a quick prototype. An internal post about it gets a whopping 2 likes. But the second it launched, usage just shot straight up. It went vertical. And now, just a year later, this tool is writing 4% of all public code on GitHub.
So what was the secret sauce here? It wasn't just about cool tech. It was about tapping into one of the most powerful forces in product development, something called latent demand. And this is where the story gets really interesting. People started using this nerdy command line tool for coders for things that have absolutely nothing to do with coding. Analyzing their personal DNA, recovering wedding photos from a broken hard drive. I mean, come on. This was a massive flashing sign that people didn't just want a better way to code. They wanted an AI that could help them solve any problem. Okay, so if the underlying tech is getting exponentially better every few months, you can't build things the way we used to. It just doesn't work. You need a totally new playbook, a new set of rules for this new game. The old way of careful, meticulous planning, it's gone. The new playbook is all about looking ahead. You have to build for the AI model that will exist 6 months from now. You give the AI a goal, not a list of instructions. You let your team experiment like crazy, and you even keep teams a little smaller, a little underfunded, to force them to rely on AI to get things done. And the core idea behind all of this is something in AI called the bitter lesson. It basically says that any complicated system you build by hand today is probably going to be totally obsolete tomorrow when a smarter, more general AI comes along. So the lesson is always, always bet on the general model. So what does this mean for us? For our jobs? When AI starts handling the how of building things, the very definition of our roles in tech, well, they start to get really blurry. You know, this isn't just a new tool we're talking about. This is a fundamental shift. Kind of like the printing press. Before it came along, only a tiny fraction of people, the scribes, could write. The press changed everything. It gave that power to everyone. AI is doing the exact same thing for the ability to build. For years, the tech world has been built on these 3 pillars, right? Engineers who code, product managers who plan, and designers who handle the user experience. Neat, clean, separate roles. But those clean lines are dissolving fast. As the AI takes on more and more of the specialized work, something new is emerging from the space where those old roles used to be. And that new role is the builder. This is someone who gets the product, has an eye for design, understands the business, and uses AI as their power tool to make ideas real. They're a generalist who can move across all those old boundaries. Which, of course, brings us to the most important question of all. With a change this big happening this fast, how do you get ready? How do you not just survive, but actually thrive in this new world? And the advice really is simple and direct.
First, you have to get your hands dirty. Use these new tools constantly. Be the person who knows what's coming next. Second, don't stay in your lane. Become a generalist. Learn about product, about design, about the business. And third, actively work across those old rules. The future belongs to the hybrids.
All right, so let's quickly recap what we've covered. 1. For many people on the front lines, manual coding is already a thing of the past. 2. The next huge breakthroughs will come from spotting those hidden needs that AI can finally solve. 3. This shift is creating a new kind of role, the builder, who works across all disciplines. And 4. The only way to win is to experiment constantly and always build for the AI that's just around the corner, not the one we have today.
And that leaves us with one last big question. For the first time ever, the gap between having an idea and actually building it is shrinking to almost zero. The barriers are falling. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build?